Liverpool. They mean business in this year's summer transfer window. They've signed Alexis McAllister. Thuram and Kone are apparently advanced and they're looking closer to joining Liverpool as well. Liverpool mean business in this year's summer transfer window. And to be honest with you, it's something that has to happen because Liverpool Football Club is a club that under Jurgen Klopp have competed for major honours, have proven they can win the Champions League, win the Premier League, win the League Cup, win the FA Cup, win all the major trophies available to them. There has been a massive drop off last season. Last season was a disastrous season from Liverpool Football Club. To go from competing for the quadruple to then getting battered by teams like Brighton and Wolves and ultimately missing out on Champions League football next season, it's been a seismic drop for Liverpool Football Club, and there's multiple reasons for it. Complacency, I think, from the management, from some of the players. I think some players have gotten older. I think one of the big areas that Liverpool did not address last season that they're currently addressing right now is the midfield. Jordan Henderson and Fabinho have clearly gotten older and clearly regressed. Some other midfielders around the side like Curtis Jones, Harvey Elliott, Stefan Bajcetic, all young up-and-coming players who might go on to be good midfielders, but ultimately are not proven right now to show that they can consistently play in the midfield week in, week out. And of course, James Milner, Naby Keita, Thiago, these players, Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, all players who've been in and out of the side with injury, and 3 of the 4 have already left the club, as we know. Naby Keita's left, Chamberlain's left, and Milner has left, and definitely the right decision because all 3 of those players have hugely struggled with injuries, and I think Liverpool ultimately needed to move them on. And for Liverpool going into this upcoming next season, they needed to go out and bring in big players, and Alexis McAllister, very, very good signing because I think what Liverpool needed in that midfield is someone to very much fill the void that has been left by Gini Wijnaldum and Adam Lallana, who've both left the club in the last sort of 3 or 4 years. I mean, they need someone who can sort of play that role, the man to play the pass before the pass, if that makes sense. I think they've tried to play Jordan Henderson in that role. We've seen he clearly doesn't have the legs for it. They've tried to play Harvey Elliott in the role. I don't think he has the physicality for that right now, in my opinion. Curtis Jones did a good job in that role, sort of in the back end of the season, but I think Liverpool have proven they need someone who can play that role, and Alexis McAllister is the perfect man to do so. A World Cup winner, a man who played an integral role in Argentina's World Cup win and played an integral role in Brighton getting into European football. He's the perfect answer. I think statistically, when you look at what he's done, his forward movements, his passes, the areas of the field that he presses in, I think Alexis McAllister will be a fantastic signing for Liverpool Football Club, and he was the first choice or the first target for Liverpool going into this summer transfer window. I think Jude Bellingham was probably a big target as well, but we either couldn't afford him, or in reality I'm not too sure he wanted to come to us, to be honest. But Alexis McAllister, he was the target, as is Thuram, as is Kone, and those players coming in, should they come in, will be huge for Liverpool Football Club as well. First of all, it's an upgrade on Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, James Milner and Naby Keita, and it could also be replacements for the likes of Henderson, Fabinho and possibly whoever would be that third midfielder. So Liverpool are meaning business, but ultimately what else do Liverpool need, and what is the realistic expectation going into Liverpool now for next season? In terms of signings, in terms of players that they need, I think a right back could definitely be on the agenda. When you look at Trent sort of moving a little bit more centrally, you do look at a right back as an area that Liverpool do need, in my opinion. Calvin Ramsey was brought in as the backup to Trent Alexander-Arnold, but has barely seen any game time at all. So I think a right back in that role would be absolutely crucial. We've seen Benjamin Pavard linked. I think he'd definitely be a player that Liverpool could explore, and he'd be a very good signing. So he could definitely be an option. In terms of some other players that Liverpool need to bring in, I think a centre-back is definitely something that we need. You look at Joel Matip, definitely slowing down. There's absolutely no doubt about it. Virgil van Dijk, still proven enough to play as a number 1 centre-back in this Liverpool team. But I think the evidence is there that he's also regressed. Joe Gomez is in now through injury, and Ibrahima Konate has his injury problems as well. So I think Liverpool need a centre-back to come in, a reliable centre-back who could possibly challenge Van Dijk or Ibrahima Konate to establish themselves as a player who can play in that role. And if we're being greedy, if we're being picky, an attacker who can come in and replace someone like a Roberto Firmino, I think would be ideal as well. But I certainly don't think the attack will be the priority for Liverpool. I think the midfield and defence will be the priority for Liverpool going into this season. As with Salah, Cody Gakpo, Darwin Núñez, Diogo Jota. I think they've got a good enough attack already, in my opinion. I think they will need to maybe bring some bodies in and maybe, you know, bring on younger players as such, but I think generally the attack is fairly okay, in my opinion. And in terms of a realistic expectation, what will it all do? What tangible results could it eventually deliver for this Liverpool team? Well, I think ultimately, when you look at the Jurgen Klopp era, I think challenging for the Premier League would be brilliant, but I don't think it's, you know, I think it would be a little bit unrealistic to go straight from 5th to challenging for a Premier League title, and especially when you look at the fact that our rivals have probably got a bit of a jump on us, in fairness. But I think getting back into the top 4 and comfortably in the top 4 as well. I think a 3rd place finish, maybe a 2nd place finish, I think would be ideal for Liverpool. And I think competing for other trophies and winning trophies. You know, I think while we have Jurgen Klopp as manager, while we have the likes of Mohamed Salah, Diogo Jota, Cody Gakpo, Virgil van Dijk, Alisson in goal, I think we've got more than a capable team to win trophies, and I think that has to be an aim next season. Whether that's the League Cup, the FA Cup, or even the Europa League, I think Liverpool should have their eye on picking up some major silverware next season. We've proven we're more than capable of beating any team in the Premier League, and we're more than capable of challenging any team, certainly that will be in the Europa League, given our track record in Europe. So I think Liverpool should be aspiring to win silverware, get into the top 4, and I think that would quantify as a successful season next year for Liverpool. A lot of work needs to be done. The transfers need to be right. They need to hit the ground running, and Liverpool need to start the season fast, because that's something we didn't do last season and something that cost us. So there's a lot to work on for Liverpool, but I have faith that next season could be a big one. Let me know your thoughts and the opinions down below. Leave a like, subscribe. Talk to you again later.